Cameroon, a land where Africa gathers all her colors. From the mist-veiled highlands of Bamenda to the golden savannas stretching toward Lake Chad. Here, mountains breathe clouds, rivers hum like ancient songs, and forests echo with wings that glimmer between shadow and sunlight. Each landscape holds its own rhythm. Cameroon is a living crossroads, where West meets Central Africa, and evolution paints its masterpieces in feathers and song. It's a place where nature doesn't just exist, it performs. This is the heartbeat of wild Africa, ancient, untamed, and endlessly alive. In this episode from BBTV Official, we journey through Cameroon's breathtaking wilderness to witness the beauty, mystery, and voices of the birds that keep its skies forever singing. A heavy thud splits the canopy. Leaves scatter as a shape with wings like doors crashes upward through light. Your ears catch the sound before your eyes do, like wood being struck by laughter. Its name, Jacanas subcylindricus, sounds like a riddle from an engineer. Double-horned, almost cylindrical. It fits. That casque, black and white, thick as a child's wrist, looks less like decoration and more like architecture. A beak with ambition. It dominates the lowland forest stretching from Mount Cameroon's foothills to the vast Korup Reserve, raiding fruiting trees with the confidence of a landlord collecting rent. Flocks rumble overhead, chasing sound through the forest, the way thunder follows lightning. Standing at nearly 30 inches and weighing close to 3 pounds, it's built for spectacle. The plumage divides sharply, ivory white belly, charcoal wings, and that colossal casque gleaming like carved bone. In flight, it's not elegant. It's defiant, a living percussion instrument slamming air into rhythm. Few birds can match its duet displays. When two meet, they clack their bills in sync, booming across miles. Males bring figs, offer them mid-air, then bark triumphantly as if applause were mandatory. It's chaos. It's ritual. It's rock opera in feathers. The forest drummer. Diet comprises mainly figs, berries, and occasionally small vertebrates. It swallows fruit whole, then regurgitates seeds elsewhere. A loud courier for the quiet business of trees. Even the forest depends on its noise. Breeding peaks at the start of the rainy season. The female seals herself inside a tree cavity with mud, leaving only a slit. For weeks, the male delivers food through that gap, fruit by fruit, promise by promise. The canopy still trembles after they're gone. Air hangs thick, waiting for the next percussion strike. In this orchestra of leaves, silence isn't peace. It's anticipation. A flash of flame erupts from a reed bed. Your eyes says chase it, but the blur becomes many. 10, 20, each darting, vanishing and flaring again, like sparks refusing to die. Its name, Plocaeus aurantius, stitches Latin and Greek together. Plocos for weaver, aurantius for orange. Simple, but fair. Its work is architectural, its wardrobe impossible to miss. If carpenters wore sunlight, this would be their guild. It patrols marshes and wetlands from the Sanaga River Delta to the flooded edges of the Waza National Park, turning papyrus and palm into material for its obsession, construction. Whole colonies shimmer and hum as hundreds of males braid fibers midair, each one fighting gravity and jealousy at the same time. At around 6 inches long and just over an ounce, its compact energy, golden head, scarlet eyes, and wings brushed with smoky brown. The body glows brightest at noon, when sunlight seems to ignite every feather. When it moves, it doesn't fly, it blazes. What sets it apart is its craftsmanship. Hanging upside down, the male spins strands of grass into perfect spheres, looping and knotting with machine precision. He'll tear one down if a single thread displeases him. The perfectionist architect. Females inspect each nest like landlords, one wrong angle, and he starts again. Feeding consists primarily of grass seeds, nectar, and small insects. Between building marathons, it snatches prey mid-air or pecks at soft reeds, a maintenance fee paid to the ecosystem that supplies its art supplies. Breeding peaks at the start of the rainy season. Nests cluster in dense colonies suspended above water, safe from snakes. 2 to 3 eggs hatch in about 2 weeks, their cries mixing with the hum of weaving wings. The reeds sway long after the flock moves on. Threads dangle, abandoned yet perfect. Creation for its own sake. That's the orange weaver's quiet rebellion. Branches shake like laughter. A blur of yellow wings storms the treetops, and suddenly the air fills with noise. Chirps, rustles, 1,000 tiny arguments about architecture. Its name, Plocaeus cucullatus, translates neatly from Latin and Greek. Plocos for weaver, cucullatus for hooded. The hooded weaver, accurate, if understated. Because this bird doesn't just build, it performs, dangling upside down in a chorus of chaos that feels more festival than labor. It rules the open savannas and village edges of Cameroon, threading palm fronds and grass along the banks of the Sanaga River. Where people settle, it follows, raiding thatched roofs, commandeering fruit trees, turning quiet mornings into symphonies of complaint. At about 6 inches long and weighing a single ounce, it's built like a flame. Golden body, black hood, and red eyes that glow with mischief. In sunlight, the flock looks less like birds and more like sparks escaping a bonfire. Few birds can match its social mania. Hundreds of nests sway from one tree, each a woven orb suspended on faith and stubbornness. Males weave non-stop, wings trembling, calling out for inspection. The female lands, tilts her head, rejects his work. He starts again. The village engineer. Diet comprises seeds, grains, and insects gleaned from grass or stolen from crops. Farmers curse its appetite, yet its endless foraging keeps locusts and beetles in check. A noisy neighbor with surprising benefits. Breeding coincides with the rains. Colonies explode with activity as males craft green nests that dry to straw. 2 or 3 eggs hatch in 10 days. Their chirps quickly swallowed by the colony's roar. By dusk, the chatter softens, but never stops. Threads sway, wings shuffle, and life resets. Tomorrow, more noise, more nests. The festival builds itself again. A streak of black and white glides over the riverbank. Your eye follows the motion, rhythmic as a pendulum. Then the tail flicks, once, twice, and balance becomes art. Its name, Motacilla aguimp, translates roughly from Latin as little mover, pied, practical if unpoetic. Still, it fits. This bird never stands still, as if rest were a superstition. The tail never stops, the feet never stay. It traces the edges of Cameroon's waterways, from the Logon River to the shallow pools of Waza National Park, stepping through mud and shimmer with effortless grace. Wherever there's running water, it follows, dancing along its reflection like a minimalist ballet. At about 7 inches long and weighing under an ounce, it's all contrast and precision. Jet black back, snow-white face, gray wings edged in silver. The body is slim, deliberate, tuned for equilibrium. No wasted color, no wasted motion. What sets it apart is its choreography. Every gesture feels rehearsed. The tails dip, the heads tilt, the side step toward insects skimming the surface. In a world of chaos, this bird keeps time. Locals call it the river dancer. When startled, it lifts off low and linear, tracing its own reflection as if testing the water's patience. Diet comprises mayflies, beetles, and tiny crustaceans, plucked with needle precision from wet sand and driftwood. Its quick movements keep riverbanks clean, an understated janitor in monochrome. Breeding begins at the onset of the rains. Pairs build cup-shaped nests under bridges or within tree roots near water. 4 or 5 eggs rest in down and reed, guarded with quiet devotion by both parents. The river keeps moving. So does it. Tail still dipping, rhythm unbroken. Some creatures chase balance. This one creates it. A blur cuts across the savanna. One heartbeat, then a second shape drops from the sky, slicing through heat and dust. Its name, Falco cicera, fuses Latin falx, meaning sickle, with a Hindi root, chikara, once used by falconers in India. The name feels ancient, practical, and perfectly suited to this blade of a bird. Everything about it is sharp. Its wings, its timing, its silence. It haunts open plains and scattered woodlands across northern Cameroon, from the Sahel scrub near Marua to the dry riverbeds of the Benue Basin. While eagles dominate the thermals, this falcon owns the low air, skimming treetops like a guided arrow in pursuit of life on the move. At about 12 inches long and weighing less than a pound, the red-necked falcon is compact but explosive. Slate-gray wings, white underparts streaked in rust, and a cinnamon crown that glows when the sun hits it right. Its beauty built for velocity, elegant but edged like a weapon. Few hunters fly in pairs. This one does. That's what makes it exceptional. Working as a duo, one flushes prey while the other strikes from above. The tandem blade. They communicate with speed, not sound. One glance, one turn, and the air erupts. Prey includes doves, small parrots, and insects. It hunts low, hugging the horizon before launching into a climb and drop so swift that victims barely react. Every kill keeps the balance, a silent regulator in the theater of flight. Nesting begins near the end of the dry season. The pair claims old crow nests high in acacia trees, laying 3 to 4 eggs. Both parents guard fiercely, taking turns as sentinels of the sky. The wind still hums after the strike. Nothing moves. Then, another blur, another heartbeat. The savanna resets its silence, waiting for the next descent. The surface breaks, a slender neck, a dagger beak, a sudden ripple spreading through still water. You blink, and the shape is gone again. Only the wake remains, drawing silent spirals across the swamp. Its name, Anhinga rufa, comes from the Tupi word Anhinga, meaning devil bird or snake bird, and the Latin rufa, reddish. Apt, because when this creature surfaces, it looks half serpent, half spirit. Fishermen call it the ghost of the river. It thrives in Cameroon's freshwater sanctuaries, from the slow bends of the Sanaga River to the floodplains of the Waza wetlands, where reeds breathe and fish hide. The darter doesn't wait for opportunity. It creates one, slipping beneath the surface like a blade through silk. Reaching up to 35 inches long with a wingspan over 4 feet, it's a sculpture in motion. Bronze and black feathers shimmer with oily depth, each contour designed for stealth. The long, sinuous neck coils like a spring, then uncoils in one fatal thrust. Unlike most water birds, the darter's feathers aren't waterproof. That's deliberate. They soak up water to reduce buoyancy, so it can sink, stalk, and strike unseen. It swims underwater for minutes, piercing prey with surgical accuracy, then tosses fish skyward before swallowing whole. Precision over force. Silence over speed. Feeding mainly on small fish and amphibians, it keeps wetlands balanced, pruning excess life from crowded shallows. Each dive resets the order. Breeding begins with the rains. Nests of reeds and twigs perch above water in low trees. 2 to 5 pale blue eggs lie guarded by both parents, partners in patience. When it dries its wings wide in the sun, it looks almost cruciform, a figure caught between sky and water. The swamp exhales, the hunter waits. Balance restored for now. A flash of crimson cuts through the acacia bloom. Your eye follows, but it's already gone. Only the shimmer of sunlight where wings once were. The air hums, sweet and restless. Its name, Hedidipna platura, carries poetry in Greek. Hedis for sweet, dipno for doubly feeding. Apt for a nectar thief that drinks and pollinates in the same breath. The second word, platura, means broad-tailed, a touch of irony for a bird whose tail tapers into fine, needle-like streamers. It thrives in Cameroon's dry savannas and wooded edges, from the northern grasslands near Garua to the riverine thickets of the Benue. Where flowers burn under the sun, this bird arrives like a flicker of living heat, darting from bloom to bloom. Barely 4 inches long and weighing less than a half ounce, the male is a miracle of motion, head and chest gleaming in metallic red and violet, throat brushed with blue, belly yellow as new pollen. The female trades glamour for subtlety, olive above, pale below, practical but quick. Together, their contrast in perfect rhythm, flash and fade, light and leaf. Few birds move with such urgency. The male hovers, wings a blur, tail streaming like liquid thread. He guards every flower patch with unrelenting pride. Call him the sun's messenger. In his presence, even the bees hesitate. Feeding consists primarily of nectar and tiny insects gleaned mid-air. The pygmy sunbird is both gardener and hunter, feeding the flowers even as it robs them. Energy is its language, precision its art. During the rainy months, the female weaves a tiny purse-shaped nest from grass and spider silk, suspended beneath leaves. She lays 2 eggs, guarded fiercely, hidden in plain sight. The blooms will wilt, the heat will fade, but somewhere between light and shadow, the messenger still moves, unseen, unstill, eternal in color. A soft whistle cuts across the riverbank. Then a flash, white, black, and blue, skimming over sandbars that gleam like mirrors. For a moment, the air and the bird seem made of the same calm precision. Its name, Pluvianus aegyptius, fuses Latin roots. Pluvia for rain, and Aegyptius for Egyptian. A poetic misdirection. This bird isn't from the land of pharaohs alone. It wanders far south across the Sahel and into Cameroon, where it rules the river's edge like a quiet monarch. It threads its life along the great waterways, the Benue, the Logone, and the shimmering shallows of Lake Chad. While most birds chase forests or grasslands, this one claims what lies between: water and dust, silence and reflection. At about 8 inches long, weighing a few ounces, it's a study in elegance: slate-gray back, snow-white belly, and a chest band of midnight black slicing clean across its body. The crown glows pale blue-gray, fading into a long white stripe down the neck. Every feather feels deliberate, like brush strokes in a minimalist painting. What sets it apart is its devotion to partnership. The Egyptian plover doesn't just share space, it synchronizes life. Mates guard, feed, and even bury their eggs in warm sand, relying on heat instead of brooding. The sand custodian. When danger looms, the parent lifts each egg gently into its beak, carrying safety itself across the shore. Feeding on insects, small crustaceans, and larvae, it darts with surgical precision through rippling shallows, leaving barely a footprint behind. Each step redefines grace. Nesting peaks in the dry season, when sandbanks rise. 2 or 3 eggs, buried by day and shaded by wing, embody the trust between river and bird. When the tide returns, so does the plover, quiet, deliberate, eternal. The water changes, the sand shifts, but balance remains. A flicker of red darts from the dry grass, then another, then 5. The scene catches fire, but nothing burns, just feathers flashing crimson in the savanna light. Its name, Lagonosticta rara, sounds like a spell cast in Greek. Lagos for hair, stiktos for spotted, and rara, not rare, but delicate, fitting for a creature so easily missed until the sun tilts just right and ignites it. The black-bellied firefinch doesn't show off, it glows. It drifts through scrublands and open forests across Cameroon's north, favoring the thorny margins near Marua and the rippling grasses of the Benue savanna. Always close to people, yet never tamed, it hops from shadow to shimmer, living between the wild and the familiar. Barely 4 inches long and under half an ounce, the male burns bright. Deep crimson body, coal black belly, and tiny white eye spots scattered across the flanks like sparks mid-air. The female trades intensity for warmth, clothed in soft brown-red hues. What sets this species apart is its devotion to duets. The male sings, the female answers, their notes weaving a thread through dry air. Diet comprises grass seeds, termites, and small insects plucked from the ground. Breeding begins with the rains. The female builds a spherical nest from fine grasses, hidden low in shrubs. 4 or 5 eggs rest inside, guarded fiercely by both parents until the next chorus begins. The forest hums, and then chaos. A burst of chattering calls, metallic clicks, and wing beats slicing through the canopy. White flashes ricochet between branches like sparks from an unseen forge. Its name, Prionops plumatus, carries weight from Greek roots, prion meaning saw, and ops for face. The saw-faced bird, apt if you've ever looked one in the eye. A ring of bare yellow skin surrounds each orb like molten glass, bright against its monochrome plumage. Whoever named it clearly met one mid-racket. It storms through Cameroon's woodlands and gallery forests, from the rolling savannas near Ngaoundere to the lush belts along the Sanaga River. Rarely alone, this bird moves in packs, family units that feel more like bands on tour. They shout, they squabble, they swoop in perfect disorder. At around 8 inches long and under 2 ounces, the white-crested helmet shrike looks part soldier, part performer. A puffed white crest crowns its charcoal gray body, giving it a wild, electric silhouette. When sunlight hits, the crest glows silver, as if the forest itself has decided to speak in light. Cooperation defines this species. Each member watches, feeds, and defends together. One alarms, another dives. A third guards the nest. The tree militia. They don't just survive, they enforce order through noise and motion. Their diet? Insects, spiders, beetles, anything that crawls, twitches, or hides under bark. They hunt as a synchronized storm, fanning out and closing in, leaving silence in their wake. During breeding, they build small cup-shaped nests bound with bark and lichen high in the branches. 2 or 3 eggs, raised by the entire flock, not just the parents, a village in feathered form. When they pass, the forest doesn't fall quiet. It exhales. The silence that follows isn't peace. It's anticipation for the next riot of wings. From the tall reeds comes a sound you don't expect. Low, bubbling, almost human. Then a shadow slips between stems, half gliding, half stalking. The Senegal kokel doesn't fly so much as it flows. Its name, Centropus senegalensis, stems from Greek, kentron for spur and pos for foot, a nod to its spurred toes, better suited for climbing than soaring. The Senegal part misleads. This phantom haunts far beyond one country, threading through wetlands and thickets across Cameroon and beyond. A bird named for feet, yet remembered for the way it moves. It prowls the marshy edges near the Waza wetlands and riverine forests of the Sanaga Basin, moving alone, silent as a rumor. While other cuckoos migrate or parasitize, this one stays, loyal to its hidden kingdom of reeds and rippling light. At roughly 16 inches long, the Senegal cockle is a study in quiet contrast. Chestnut wings folding over an ivory belly, a dark blue-black crown that drinks in sunlight. The long tail gleams like oil on water. Its eyes, deep crimson, seem to hold secrets of both predator and prey. Unlike its kin, the cuckoo raises its own young. It builds domed nests low in tangled grass, hidden and heavy, where 2 to 4 eggs rest in shadow. Feeding on insects, frogs, and the occasional lizard, it hunts with patience, slipping between blades of grass like a ripple through still water. A shriek cuts through the marsh, a sound halfway between laughter and alarm. Then comes motion, a flash of red legs darting through reeds, yellow bill slicing the air. The black crake never whispers its presence. It announces it. Its name, Amarornis flavirostra, fuses Greek roots, amoros for dusky, and ornis for bird, with Latin flavus for yellow and rostrum for bill. A dark bird with a bright mouth, accurate and unpretentious, like naming a storm after thunder. Across Cameroon's wetlands, from the floodplains of Waza to the quiet shallows of Lake Maga, this species thrives in the in-between places, too wet for walking, too dense for swimming. It strides the floating vegetation with the confidence of an acrobat, balancing chaos beneath its feet. Barely 9 inches long and weighing just a few ounces, the black crake looks compact but charged. Its plumage absorbs light, a deep, smoky black that turns velvety in the sun, while its crimson legs flash like warning flares. Those yellow bills? Instruments of defiance. Even crocodiles get chased off when it defends its nest. It's no solitary wanderer either. The black crake calls in duets, synchronized, loud, and oddly joyful. The marsh troublemaker. Its voice echoes through papyrus stands like drumming raindrops on tin. Every shout claims territory. Every chase reinforces its claim to chaos. Feeding on insects, snails, frogs, and the occasional carcass, it stabs and snatches with speed, turning murky water into a buffet. In this ecosystem, it's both cleaner and opportunist, recycling what others overlook. Breeding takes place during the rains. Both parents weave floating nests from reeds, anchoring them to stems. 3 to 6 eggs hatch under shared care, with chicks swimming before their feathers dry. When the marsh falls silent, it's not peace, it's anticipation. Somewhere in the reeds, red legs wait to run again. The calm is only a pause before the laughter returns. Branches shiver, though there's no wind. Then a ripple of brown and chatter breaks through the stillness. A flock of speckled mousebirds, tumbling through foliage like a gust of gossip. Their movement isn't graceful. It's social chaos, wrapped in feathers and laughter. Its name, Coleus striatus, comes from Greek koleos for long-tailed and Latin striatus, meaning streaked. A simple description for a not-so-simple bird. Whoever named it clearly hadn't heard one. It sounds more like a bickering market than a woodland tune. They sprawl across Cameroon's woodlands and savannas, from the farmlands near Bafoussam to the scrub-fringed edges of the Benue Plains. Rarely alone, they roam in noisy clans, clinging to acacias, dangling upside down, or skittering through branches like furry rodents, hence the name mousebird. About 13 inches long but light as a whisper, the speckled mousebird is built for mischief. Its drab-brown plumage hides a soft sheen of gray and tan. A long tapering tail flowing behind like a ribbon in disarray. The crest gives it a perpetually surprised look, as if it's always mid-argument. And it never stops moving. They huddle in threes, sometimes sixes, grooming, squabbling, squealing. The hanging acrobat. When the sun bakes the savanna, they sprawl together on a branch, bellies up, wings spread, avian sunbathers in perfect disorder. They feed on fruits, buds, and young leaves, plucking food while hanging upside down. In return, they help scatter seeds far across the bush, tiny gardeners in constant motion. Breeding is communal too. Nests of twigs and grass sit deep in shrubs, shared by pairs and helpers alike. 3 to 4 eggs hatch into chicks raised by a whole family. A democracy of care amid the chatter. A sharp call slices through the mist, quick and deliberate, like a blade meeting stone. Then it appears, perched high on a thorn branch, motionless except for its eyes. The McKinnon's shrike doesn't hunt for survival. It performs it. Its name, Lanius mckinnoni, carries dual meaning. Lanius, Latin for butcher, fits this bird far too well. McKinnoni honors the Scottish naturalist who first described it. A polite dedication for such an impolite hunter. Even its title feels like contrast. Science meets savagery. From Cameroon's montane forests to the cooler slopes of Mount Oku, this shrike patrols the misted tree line with militant precision. It perches low, scans, then strikes, an executioner in gray plumage. Few birds embody their genus so literally. At around 9 inches long, the McKinnon's shrike wears a uniform of steel gray, white, and black. A minimalist palette, sharpened to purpose. A black mask covers its eyes, a bandit's disguise, while its hooked bill glints like polished obsidian. Its beauty doesn't soften it. It refines the threat. And its method? Efficient. The forest butcher. Small lizards, insects, even other birds. Each victim speared onto thorns or barbed twigs, an eerie pantry left in plain sight. To a shrike, impalement isn't cruelty, it's storage. Its diet defines the rhythm of its world. No chase, no waste, just quiet dominance over the understory's chaos. Each kill feeds the next day's stillness. Breeding pairs hold fierce territories, their cup nests tucked into thorny tangles. 3 or 4 eggs lie guarded beneath relentless vigilance. Even the chicks inherit the stare, sharp, focused, unforgiving. No wind, no sound, only the trembling shimmer of heat over a riverbank. Then, a sudden cry, sharp, defiant, cuts through the stillness like a thrown blade. The white-crowned lapwing has arrived, a sentinel of sand and water. Its name, Vanellus albiceps, bears Latin roots meaning little fan and white head. A poetic understatement. The fan refers to its graceful, sweeping wings, the white head to that flawless crown that gleams like sunlight striking bone. For a bird that guards rivers, it wears its authority lightly, half elegance, half alarm. Across Cameroon's open floodplains and the edges of the Benue River, this lapwing walks the boundary between land and reflection. It doesn't flock. It commands. When danger stirs, it lifts in an explosion of white and black, calling in rapid metallic bursts that echo down the waterline. At about 13 inches tall and a bit over half a pound, it's built for poise. A sleek body, long lemon-yellow legs, and a crisp white crown set against gray wings. 2 golden wattles hang from its face like delicate ornaments, shimmering when it turns its head. Under the noon sun, it looks sculpted from light and warning. Yet it's not just a river decoration. It's the water guardian. It patrols shallows for insects and small crustaceans, darting precisely, each strike deliberate. Its cry drives off intruders far larger than itself. Every motion says, "This place is mine." Breeding pairs nest openly on gravel islands, counting on vigilance, not concealment. Their eggs blend with pebbles, nearly invisible. Both parents defend the nest fiercely, even feigning injury to lure predators away. And when silence returns, the river holds its breath. A creature of grace born into a world of vigilance, living proof that beauty here isn't passive. It's territorial. It endures because it dares to stand its ground. One cry every 3 seconds. That's how relentlessly the spur-winged lapwing guards its territory. Along Cameroon's flooded plains, its call slices the air with military precision, sharp, rhythmic, impossible to ignore. Its name, Vanellus spinosus, translates loosely from Latin as spined little fan. The spine refers to the hidden weapon on each wing, a sharp black spur used to fend off intruders. The fan? Perhaps a nod to its sweeping flight, which looks almost ceremonial, if you ignore the daggers it carries. This lapwing isn't decoration, it's defense embodied. Across northern Cameroon, from the Logone River wetlands to grassy margins of Lake Maga, the bird rules open water edges with unflinching boldness. It struts through mudflats like a sentry, chest puffed, wings half open, a gesture part warning, part performance. It doesn't hide. It declares. At around 13 inches tall and nearly 3/4 of a pound, the spur-winged lapwing wears its black, white, and chestnut plumage like a crisp uniform. A black cap divides its white cheeks, and a glossy patch on its chest catches every flicker of light. Even when standing still, it feels in motion, an argument frozen mid-sentence. But its true claim to fame lies in that wing spur. During nesting season, this bird turns fearless. It dive bombs snakes, jackals, even humans, anything nearing its eggs. Locals have nicknamed it the Screaming Soldier, and rightly so. When it attacks, the air itself vibrates. Its diet is simple: insects, worms, and mollusks plucked from shallow pools. Yet in cleaning the mud and stirring up larvae, it keeps the ecosystem breathing. 3 cries, 2 wing beats, 1 warning. The wetlands fall silent again, but somewhere, another lapwing takes up the call. Because in its world, Peace doesn't mean quiet. It means control. Across Cameroon's open savannas, the grass ripples like an ocean. Zoom closer. Tiny wings flutter between the reeds. Closer still, and the scene resolves into pattern and pulse. A band of black and white mannequins, moving like music in motion. Its name, Lonchura bicolor, carries a clean simplicity. Lonchura, from Greek lonche for spear, a nod to its sharp, conical bill. Bicolor for the bold split of black and white. A name so plain, it feels almost ironic, because these birds turn simplicity into spectacle. They flock across central and southern Cameroon, from the grassy banks of the Sanaga River to rice fields shimmering near Idia. They gather by the hundreds, chattering softly as they rise and fall in perfect sync. Each turn of the flock feels rehearsed, as though the savanna itself were keeping rhythm. Barely 4 inches long and weighing under half an ounce, this bird wears its monochrome like a tuxedo made for perpetual motion. Black face, white underparts, brown wings. A pattern so crisp it looks tailored. Even the eyes, deep and glassy, reflect a spark of collective intelligence. What makes them special is unity. The black and white mannequin is the synchronized dancer of the grasslands. It feeds, flies, and even nests as part of an ensemble. When one dips, all follow. When one calls, the rest reply. The air hums with choreography. Their diet is humble: grass seeds, grains, and the occasional termite. But together they aerate fields, scattering seeds that stitch new life across the plains. Breeding begins with quiet devotion. The pair weaves a round grass nest, low among reeds, lining it with feathers. 4 eggs, 2 parents, one endless routine. And when dusk falls, the flock lifts again, small bodies tracing arcs across the dim horizon. The pattern repeats, the rhythm holds, the dance never ends. A flicker of orange, a shimmer of silver, a sound like laughter caught in reeds. The air itself seems to glitter as the orange-cheeked waxbill darts through a patch of sunlit grass. Blink, and it's gone, leaving color and motion tangled in your memory. Its name, Estrilda melpoda, wears poetry disguised as taxonomy. Estrilda may derive from streak or spark, fitting for a bird that flashes through light. Melpoda comes from Greek, melas, black, and pous, foot. The name may obsess over the feet, but the face, those glowing orange cheeks, is what the forest remembers. This tiny finch threads wetlands and grasslands across southern Cameroon, fluttering near Yaoundé's forest edges or along the Sanaga's shimmering banks. It favors places alive with both light and water, places where seeds and insects trade abundance for attention. Always in motion, always in song, it turns ordinary fields into confetti. Barely 4 inches long and weighing less than half an ounce, it's dressed in subtle pastels that explode at the cheeks. Ash-gray crown, chestnut flanks, crimson tail, the palette of a sunrise condensed into feathers. In sunlight, its body glows with the warmth of embers. Nicknamed the ember finch, it flits in pairs or small bands, rarely silent. Each hop comes with a whisper, each flutter a spark. Its voice, a soft seep-seep, feels more like exhaled light than sound. The waxbill's diet is light and restless. Grass seeds, termites, the occasional fruit. As it feeds, it scatters seed heads, painting renewal with every peck. Breeding pairs weave domed grass nests low in reeds, often near water. The female lays 4 to 6 eggs, and both parents feed the chicks in tireless shifts of devotion. And as you stand watching, eyes searching for one flash of orange among thousands of blades, it's not the bird that seems small. It's you, held still, while the grass itself dances with fire. From the edge of the Cameroonian savanna, a burst of nasal cackles rolls across the dry air, echoing off acacia trunks. The African gray hornbill doesn't just call, it performs, a soundtrack to the heat-hazed landscape that never quite quiets down. Its name, Lophoceros nasutus, translates from Greek and Latin as crested horn and long-nosed. Fair enough. That down-curved bill, black with a white stripe running its length, looks built for mischief. And nasutus, meaning nosy, fits perfectly. Few birds pry into life with more enthusiasm. Across northern and central Cameroon, it glides between wooded savannas and riverine forests, claiming termite mounds and baobabs as watchtowers. Around Garua, or Waza National Park, its laughing duet with a mate can carry for half a mile. Even in flight, its broad wings clap the air like applause. At about 19 inches long and nearly a pound in weight, it cuts a sleek silhouette, ash-gray plumage brushed with silver, a flash of white down the belly, and a long black tail tipped in snow. The massive bill, heavier than it looks, gives each movement an exaggerated dignity, as if the bird knows it has a reputation to maintain. But what defines this species is personality. The African gray hornbill is the gossip of the grasslands. It joins mixed flocks, announcing everything it sees: hawks, rain clouds, or your arrival, with an opinionated squawk. When it feeds, it tosses fruit and beetles high into the air before swallowing, as if savoring its own flair for drama. Nesting pairs seal themselves inside tree cavities, the female plastered in with mud and droppings, relying entirely on the male's deliveries. Weeks pass before she breaks free, chicks in tow. A rebirth through patience and trust. And when the dry wind carries that laughter again, the silence feels louder for its absence. The savanna waits, then laughs with it once more. From a distance, the river looks empty, only silver water and heat. Then a ripple of motion breaks the stillness. Wings curve, twist, and gleam like blades of polished steel. The gray pratincole has arrived, cutting through air that quivers with sunlight. Its scientific name, Glareola cinerea, draws from Latin, glarea meaning gravel, and cinerea meaning ash-gray. A poetic understatement, really. Few birds make gray look so alive. On paper, it sounds colorless. In flight, it burns with grace. You'll find this river dancer gliding above the great bends of the Sanaga and Benue, drifting low over sandbanks and floodplains where dragonflies shimmer like living sparks. It hovers inches from the water's skin, then vaults skyward in looping arcs that seem choreographed by wind itself. At about 9 inches long and barely 3 ounces, it's the shape of speed perfected. Smoke-gray wings flash against a pale belly, while a neat black line traces from the eye to the crimson bill, an artist's final stroke. On land, it perches upright, almost falcon-like. In air, it floats, bends, and flickers with impossible precision. This is the acrobat of the river, a bird that blurs the boundary between sky and reflection. It feeds on insects mid-flight, catching them with tiny, perfect timing. The hunt looks effortless. It's not. Every turn is measured, every beat an act of survival. When breeding season comes, pairs scrape shallow nests into gravel bars, exposed to wind and light. 2 or 3 eggs rest unhidden, their camouflage the only defense against the open sky. And when the river floods, the nests wash away. The air empties. Yet, when the waters retreat, they return, always without complaint. The river forgets nothing, and neither do they. A scream cuts through Cameroon's rainforest, sharp, echoing, alive. Shadows scatter across the canopy as monkeys freeze mid-leap, sensing the predator above. Then, from the green haze, a blur of wings descends, a perfect strike from the forest's most feared hunter. The crowned eagle has arrived. Its name, Stephanoetus coronatus, comes from the Greek stephanos, meaning crown, and etos for eagle. A fitting name for this ruling predator of the treetops. Locals call it the leopard of the sky, not for its looks, but for its deadly grace. It hunts as a big cat would, patient, silent, and absolutely precise. Across Cameroon, from the ancient forests of Korup to the volcanic heights of Mount Cameroon, it rules unseen. It prefers dense, towering canopies where sunlight filters like liquid gold. Each branch is a perch of power, each shadow a calculated ambush. Standing nearly 3 feet tall with a wingspan of 6 feet, the crowned eagle is all muscle and intent. Its talons, thick as a child's wrist, can crush the skull of a monkey in a heartbeat. The dark plumage blends with bark and shadow, while a raised crest crowns its head like a symbol of dominion. It doesn't soar across open skies. It waits, motionless, calculating, then strikes with explosive precision. One dive, one impact. Silence. Among all raptors, none rule with such quiet fury. Its diet is as bold as its reign: monkeys, forest antelopes, and small mammals. Breeding pairs build vast nests high in mahogany trees, reusing them year after year. The female guards one chick, while the male hunts tirelessly, bringing food through wind and storm. When it departs, the forest holds its breath. No sound, no flutter, only the weight of awe. The crowned eagle doesn't need applause. Its silence is enough. A rustle breaks the still morning of Cameroon's rainforest. Then, a burst of blue glides across the canopy, broad wings catching the filtered sunlight like stained glass in motion. Its call follows, low and bubbling, a sound somewhere between laughter and thunder. The great blue Turacos has entered the scene, part peacock, part parrot, all wonder. Its name, Corythaiola cristata, blends Greek roots, korythos, helmet, and cristata, crested. Together, they describe the bird's most regal feature, that velvet blue crest arching like a royal plume. Locals sometimes call it the forest king, a fitting title for a creature that seems carved from the rainforest's spirit itself. Across Cameroon, it haunts the green corridors of Korup National Park and the riverine forests of the Congo Basin. The great blue Turaco prefers the mid-canopy, gliding from tree to tree with a slow, confident rhythm, rarely descending to the ground. Where fruit ripens and figs hang heavy, it is never far away. At nearly 30 inches long and around 2 pounds, it is the largest of all Turacos, a giant draped in blue and turquoise, its tail tipped with gold, its wings brushed in crimson fire. The bright yellow bill curves sharply, ending in a splash of red like a painter's final stroke. It moves through the trees not as a flyer, but as a wanderer, hopping, gliding, pausing to feast. Frugivorous to its core, it devours figs, berries, and seeds, playing a vital role in scattering the forest's next generation. Where it feeds, new life follows. When breeding, pairs build wide, shallow nests high in the canopy, hidden among broad leaves. Both parents share the duties, gentle, deliberate, unhurried, tending 1 or 2 pale eggs until the forest crowns a new heir. As the light shifts and the canopy hums, the great blue Turaco drifts away once more. Not with haste, but with grace. In its slow, royal flight, the forest breathes and remembers its oldest melody. Dawn seeps over Cameroon's wetlands, and the mist trembles. Out of the reeds, a long neck rises, motionless, bronze and violet against the first light. A single ripple breaks the still water as it steps forward, deliberate and silent. The purple heron begins its hunt. Its name, Ardea purpurea, says exactly what it is. Ardea meaning heron, and purpurea for its dusky purple sheen. Straightforward maybe, but one glance makes it unforgettable. Locals call it the shadow fisher, for it moves like dusk itself, half seen, wholly precise. From the floodplains of the Logone River to the quiet shallows of Lake Osa, this heron threads through reed beds and papyrus groves. It prefers isolation, places too tangled for others to tread. When alarmed, it doesn't fly immediately. It freezes, blending into the reeds until even the wind forgets its outline. Standing about 35 inches tall, with a wingspan over 4 feet, the purple heron is built for stealth. Its chestnut and slate plumage glows faintly in sunlight, while the long S-shaped neck coils like a striking serpent. The dagger-like bill gleams gold, honed for sudden precision. It hunts by stillness. A frog croaks, then silence. A flash of beak, a quick lunge, and the water swallows the noise. Fish, frogs, even small rodents fall victim to its patience. Each meal is a quiet act of mastery. During breeding season, pairs nest deep in reed beds, weaving sticks into wide platforms barely above the water. 4 or 5 pale blue eggs rest inside, guarded by both parents through rain, heat, and flood. And when dusk returns, it lifts into the air, slow, stately, ancient. The purple heron doesn't simply leave the marsh. It withdraws like a passing dream, leaving only ripples where presence once was. Across Cameroon's boundless horizons, from the mist-laced ridges of Mount Cameroon to the emerald rainforests of Korup, and the golden savannas of the north. Every bird we've met carries a fragment of this land's living heartbeat. They are painters of the canopy, drummers of the wetlands, and messengers of balance between forest, sky, and human breath. In their colors gleams the memory of ancient rain. In their songs, the pulse of Africa's green heart. Thank you for journeying with BBTV Official through the wild wings of Cameroon. If these voices of the forest stirred something within you, help us keep their stories alive. Like, subscribe, and share in the comments. Which bird of Cameroon left its song in your heart today? Until next time, may the rhythm of the forest stay with you, wherever the wind carries you.